I do want the World Cup to be in Rushcliffe because it's got really good sporting facilities, and I want it just to take that one step further.
I do want the World Cup to be in Rushcliffe because I think the people who love football, it's going to be good for them, and you get a good profit for the property owners.
Hello, I'm Diane Kidger. I am Chairman of Home Pierrepont and Gamston Parish Council. I am also a resident of Basingfield. You asked the question, do you want the World Cup in Rushcliffe? That is quite an ambiguous question because, as you well know, there is the Forest Ground in Rushcliffe and your proposed stadium in Gamston. Yes, I do support World Cup bid taking place at the Forest Ground. Certainly not Gamston. It will be the loss of the green belt. You have the lack of infrastructure, traffic, pollution, horrendous journeys into Nottingham for people travelling from the east of county, Radcliffe-on-Trent and Bingham. The carbon footprint would go through the roof. And do we need all these houses which you are submitting as a smokescreen behind the application for the stadium? I'd like to know, when the original proposal for Home Pierrepont, there were no houses. So why is a requirement for houses needed to support the Gamston bid? Not that anyone wants a 100-foot high plus football stadium and all their ancillary services, hotels, etc. on their doorstep. So I, for one, do not wish to see the Gamston Stadium. Thank you.
Look at the camera and record. I live in Gamston and I think it's a great place to live. I don't think it's appropriate for a football stadium to be here. Socially, it's a lovely area, lot of greenery, not enough places for children to play, so maybe you should focus on putting in some more playgrounds and play areas. And improving road safety around the area rather than spending our taxpayers' money on investing in a football stadium. Thank you.
Go. Hi, I think it isn't a very good idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because it'll take up most of the fields and the roads will be more noisy. Thank you. I don't think it is a good idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because, if children are at night, they might not be able to get to sleep, and the animals that live in the Greenland, they will die, and people will probably park near us. Bye.
I do think it will be a good idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because it will get Rushcliffe really wealthy and may put us on the Olympic map.
Also, on the other hand, I don't think it will be a good idea because of the traffic and people won't be able to get to work or school.
Also, if emergency vehicles need to get somewhere, they may not be able to, and it may put someone's life at risk.
However, there's a pub nearby and people might get drunk and steal into people's houses.
Thank you for listening.
I don't think we should have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because it'll make the roads a lot more busy, and if people are trying to get to sleep, the noise will probably wake them up, and if they've got a big day, it will still wake them up. Bye-bye.
On this one. After listening to all the arguments for and against, we think it is a good idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe. Here are reasons why. Firstly, we should have it in Rushcliffe because obviously it is good for retail and bring wealth to Rushcliffe. Also, we can use this stadium for the Olympics in years to come, and this means Rushcliffe will be put on the map. Our conclusion is that we already have great sports facilities here. So if we have a stadium for the World Cup, it will take us that one step further. Thank you for listening to Luca. I hope you take our ideas into account. Thank you.
I live in Edwalton and I would not like to see a football stadium built in this area. The roads just cannot cope with any more traffic. With the noise as well, it would just ruin the area, and the green belt should be protected and stay for green fields. Thank you.
I don't think building a football pitch in Gamston is a very good idea because people that are drunk might ring, for example, emergency service.
which in this case some people could be dying and they would go to the place which is fake. And when they get to the people that are in need of help, they could die. The next reason is wildlife could die down because they would knock down and there would be no habitat for them to live in. Thank you for listening.
We feel strongly against the idea of building a new football stadium in Rushcliffe because if there is an emergency like people dying, the emergency services might not get there in time because of the traffic the football will bring. Thank you for listening. Hi, I don't think it's a very good idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because if we did, the roads would become more busy and it wouldn't be safe and the roads would be more noisy as well. Thank you. Hi, I think that it's a bad idea to have the World Cup in Rushcliffe because the roads will be a lot more busy and say if it's a really say if there's a game on really late and people are sleeping, it might disturb them. Thank you.